everybody, it's Reichenator again. Sorry for the delay. My son decided to wake up a little bit earlier than he usually does. So I had to get him all changed. That was a struggle on its own, right? Yeah. Yeah. That was a bad one. Had to get him his lunch. The Dino Nuggies took a little while to fry up, and then, of course, had to cool them down because they were too hot. Gotta love kids, right? Well, alright, well, you all set, bud? Let's get you closer. Huh? You like the Dino Nuggie? Alright, well, let's jump back into this. Very Game Boy-esque sound. Don't think we need to watch the intro again. Alright, load this time. This one. Oh, yeah. No doggy this time. No doggy. But my son's here, so just eating his lunch and watching me play. Still a little groggy. When I stopped playing, I for some reason wasn't able to save, so I continued going for a little bit until I could save. Might have made some bad choices with Remy. We'll see how I can unmess that up, if I can. Oh, that means the library will be closing pretty soon. If you want to do or ask anything in particular, now's the time. There's a lot we could get into, but I'm afraid we won't have enough time now. Maybe another day. Anyways, thanks for your help. If there's any way I can repay you, just let me know. Okay, so I was able to go back far enough that I can... That's fine with me. You've got my number, so call me about it when you have time. I will. Have a nice evening. You too. We parted amicably, or so I thought. Would I see him again? I wasn't sure, but I kept his number just in case. Well, I hope so. He's kind of like my escort or whatever. Chapter 3, Superstition. It's got a Dean on it. Nice. Hopefully we get to see her a bit. Nah. Huh? You want the Dino Nuggie? Huh? No? You're not hungry? Morning sun declared the arrival of a new day and woke me from my vivid dreams. Memories of my home enclosed within the towering perimeter wall raced through my head. The peaceful landscape outside the apartment window stood in defiance of these old thoughts. Rolling hills and blue sky were familiar to me now, and the purity of the sights gave me hope. Well, Sebastian is the escort, but Remy's kind of like the representative, speaking of the devil, kind of like the representative from the council, I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. Reich, please come with me. What's going on? You sound serious. God damn. Is there another murder? Are we actually going to talk about this one? Or what? The chief will explain everything once we arrive. Okay. Okay, we're back at the laboratory. Hey, Chief, Reich is here. Thanks, Sebastian. You can deal with the situation here while I talk to Reich, alright? Of course. Reich, I've got some really bad news. Well, what is it? You know, wait, what? Anna, right? I've met her, yes. I'm sorry, I don't... Uh-oh. I don't know how to say this. Those few words were enough. Dread sank in and I already knew. Oh, boy. Don't. I ignored his words and walked past him. Oh, no. What? No! What? Oh, come on! Just because I... When I turned the corner, there was no mistaking her. Anna was haphazardly covered by a sheet, leaving her tail and blood-stained hand exposed. In the end, she didn't deserve full discretion. Are you okay? I don't know. I'm not okay with this. Is there anything that I can do? Let's just get this over with. Bryce gave me a concerned look, but then nodded. And here's more bad news. The blood we found on the first victim in town matches the DNA evidence found on the second victim at the power facility. Furthermore, the murder weapon and method appear to be the same across all three victims, and that's going to be a big problem for you. For me? Why is that? Because with these three murders, Reza now qualifies as a serial killer. We won't be able to keep this whole thing quiet for much longer. Higher authorities, including the ministry in charge of your whole visit, will know about this soon. I have no idea what will happen once they do. Really? I'm not sure what to say to that. I don't want to worry you, but we can be sure that action will be taken soon. Oh, you like the Dino Nuggie now? I've been considering this a possibility for a while, and think it might be best if you went back to your own world for now. No, I am not. This way, we can take action before the ministry does, and before this all becomes public. If we wait, we don't know what they'll do or how the public will react. With everything going on, it's too dangerous for you to stay here. No. This would be the worst possible time for me to leave. We've given up our PDAs and hardly have anything to show for it. We are owed several more generators, and let's not forget that Reza is still missing. If I leave now, the only thing I return home with is my life. I've lost everything else. Well, there's a Dean still. We need those generators, Bryce. I have no idea if your authorities will continue to uphold our deal or what they do to Reza, but I'm not leaving until this is over. Hey, Zach. If that's your decision, then so be it. Anyway, let's get back on track. I called you here for a reason, Reich. In addition to the murder, several things were stolen. Among them, your PDAs, batteries, and some components used to build generators. Does that ring any bells? Not really. Reza might have some knowledge of electronics, but I doubt he has enough to assemble one of your generators, even if he had the parts. Strange. Even so, it's fair to assume Reza's involvement at this point. No one else has a greater motive to steal the PDAs, especially after what happened between him and Maverick. Frickin' Maverick ruining things. Unless someone wanted to frame Reza in order to sabotage this whole operation. Do you really believe that? A little bit. Hey, I'm just saying that it's possible. I'll shelf that idea under possible but unlikely. And it's gonna be likely, isn't it? It's gonna be very likely. Hey Chief, are we done here? Pretty much. Why do you ask? We just got a message from the higher-ups. You and Reich are to report to the Ministry of Culture and Arts immediately. Immediately? As in, right now? That's typically what immediately means. Yeah, apparently. What's going on? To be frank, I don't know. You're not Frank, you're Bryce. I hate my dad jokes sometimes. This is an extraordinary situation. Now it's getting out of hand. They must want to address it. So, the worst possibility. It's not going to be that bad. Maybe they're going to throw a surprise party. Yeah, okay. Sure. You expect the worst. At least you won't be disappointed. Sebastian, you can finish up here and go to the ministry when you're done. We'll probably have to make some arrangements after this meeting. Sure thing, Chief. Master Chief? No. Let's go then, shall we? It's not like we have a choice. Frickin' Anna? Really? What in the heck is that? Okay. Emera? Sure. Hi, bud. That was quicker than I expected. I wouldn't have minded waiting out here a little longer. Greetings, Oh, she's a minister. Good. Greetings. Shall we go inside for our... Oh, that's Bryce's... Sheesh. Shall we go inside for our official business? No, I've got everything I need right here. It gets so stuffy on hot days. My assistant doesn't seem to mind, but I prefer the fresh air. I'd rather just stay right here, unless you have any objections. I don't. At least Anna is one less to date. Really? That makes it okay that she's dead? Wasn't worried about dating her or anything. She was, somewhat funny. Anyways, I see. Well, I know I exactly haven't been up to date in regards to Reza's sudden disappearance, but to get the message today that he is a confirmed serial killer was quite shocking. Not confirmed yet. Frankly, keep going back to Frank. I'm curious as to why the facts of this case have been withheld from me for so long. Yeah, nothing can be done about it. She's dead, I know. Sucks. Simply because they weren't within your jurisdiction. The murders were strictly a police matter. Only with the amount of new evidence, namely the DNA and blood we found, and these 3 murders now being linked together and to him, did your ministry have to become involved. I see. So Reza's involvement is now undeniable. It's a little deniable. I'm afraid so, Minister. Facts are nothing to be afraid of. Though, in light of all this, I'm starting to worry about my personal safety. Of course you are. Freaking politicians. With our thick hides, I don't think our species has much to fear if we consider the murder weapon. Speak for yourself. You don't think someone of my standing needs protection? Ugh. Done with that chicken nugget? You want another? Huh? There you go. Oh, for sure. If you're worried about your personal safety, we could look into an escort for you. Good. Considering all the murders took place during the night, I'll certainly need it. Long days are endemic in my line of work. But that's enough about myself. We now face the question of what should be done about Reza and Reich. Minister, we continue our hunt for Reza every day. As a matter of fact, Reich has been helping us do so for a while now. She's gonna say I'm helping Reza. Is that so? One human a murderer, another a detective. Interesting. And how do we know Reich isn't following a similar plan to Reza's, whatever that may be? Similar concerns were leveled by Reza's escort, Maverick. It was his overreaction that caused Reza to run away in the first place. I don't know if it drive him to kill all these dragons. Let the human talk for once, Chief. Yeah, let me talk, dang it. Please, Reich, enlighten me. You and Reza came here on the same mission, and the situation has escalated beyond our expectations. What you tell me now will determine the actions I'll take on this matter, so no pressure or anything. Maybe you should start by telling me your side of the events from the beginning. Reza was fine during his early days here. Things only went wrong after you arrived. Look at Maverick. I opened my mouth, but Bryce spoke first, determined to defend me. Arguably, the problems that caused all this were apparent even then. How so? Maverick suspected Reza of planning something, but I didn't think he had a case. Well, did he? Apparently. No. What he had was a suspicion. The night he followed Reza, he found both him and Reich at the portal. The humans intended to send one of their promised generators through, but there was a confrontation that ended with both Maverick and Reich wounded, and Reza running away. Reza's been missing ever since. I've read the reports already, Chief. The question is, did Maverick cause this, or did he just fail to prevent it? I have no way of knowing that, Minister. You just mentioned your apparent knowledge of problems back then. Problems may not have been the right word. Let's just say Maverick's attitude was not helpful during that encounter. Why did you choose Maverick as his escort in the first place? Wasn't I going to talk here? Protection for the human ambassador was my greatest concern when I made that decision, and Maverick was the most capable individual in that regard. Well, that worked out nicely, didn't it? You also seem to think that Maverick shouldn't have remained Reza's escort. Is that true? Yes, had I paid more attention to the warning signs, the situation may have been avoided. So you accept responsibility for the incident? Oh, don't fire him. Yes, Minister. I see. Now, let us get back to the topic of Reich. Yep, still here. Reza was your partner in humanity's mission to come to this world. His list of criminal activities not only includes murder, but also theft of generators, electronic components, and the PDAs your people gave to us. I understand why Bryce would reason that you could help the investigation, but we have no other choice but to be suspicious of Reza's partner. What was your motivation when you agreed to help us? Bryce didn't let me say. Oh, that's not technically untrue. Is my best bet finding the truth is beneficial to my actual mission. Hi, bud. Hi. I don't want to get Bryce in more trouble. I'm going to go with best bet of finding the truth. I thought Reza's involvement was undeniable at this point. That may be true, but we still don't have the whole picture. We don't know if others are involved, or his reasons. I just want to know why. I see. Well, after reading up on the whole situation and hearing both your accounts, I believe that Reich is trustworthy. Yay! I did it. I did something right. Nevertheless, I think Reich presents a great risk. Oh, okay. Well then, why is that? After this meeting, I will hold a press conference to inform the public of the current situation. The people must know of the danger posed by Reza. You know, I forgot what a PDA is in this game. It's a very good question. Excuse me. No matter what Bryce and I think about your involvement, the public could feel differently. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Never actually seen that movie, but, you know, that's one of the most quotable lines ever. You, me, and Bryce will have to face the backlash resulting from this information becoming public. And what's more, Reich, you might be in real danger yourself. Reza himself may come to silence you once he learns that you are helping us, or consider the public uproar from those who would question your involvement. All things considered, it would be for the best if you return to your own world and... Oh, come on, don't send me back! I came to the very same conclusion, Minister. Then, with your support, this is what shall be done. Please don't. You don't agree? If you send me back now, this diplomatic relationship is over. I'd have to admit defeat to humanity. There's no way I can return without your generators, our PDAs, or Reza. Maybe you could explain to them what's a great choice of an ambassador Reza was. But I was his partner, so in a way, he is my responsibility. I can't just go back like this. I'm afraid that's not enough. It certainly doesn't outweigh our reasons for sending you home. Just let me explain. I'll tell you everything. Years ago, our world was prosperous. Our technology was far more advanced than yours, even. Computers not only graced every household, but every single person. It was the age of information, kind of like right now. Even children had the power to access the most advanced knowledge at their fingertips. With our PDAs, our interconnectedness with other people and our environment was greater than ever. Is being a stuck... Well, she's a politician, so... From locomotion to repetitious work and household chores, many processes were automated to such a degree that except for our jobs and hobbies, there was nothing that needed to be done by a person anymore. And we're getting pretty closer to that, too. Even the concept of someone wielding a weapon was outdated, as wars were no longer fought by people, but machines. There's still a ways from that. How old is this game? That's actually a good question. Looking at the Steam. Says it was released in 2017, so fairly newer. Looking back, it was probably the single most prosperous time in human history. Here's the Dino Nuggie, bud. There you go. Exploitation of the environment and other people was at an all-time low, as was crime. Conversely, our technological advancements had drastically increased quality of life. Humans were no longer required for strenuous or repetitive tasks. Education had reached an all-time high, and many new jobs were created. General happiness had reached levels never seen before. Yet, one day, everything changed. Okay, what am I looking at? Oh, solar flare, nice. A solar flare that was headed for Earth was detected by an automated monitoring system. It was determined to be so powerful that it dwarfed all others ever recorded in history. We had less than a week to prepare. Chaos hit much earlier than that, as people scrambled to shield themselves and their possessions from the incoming ion storm. Well, it's nice to get a little backstory here. On a worldwide level, power lines were switched off, satellites reoriented in space, and planes grounded to mitigate the effects that would hit us. What you doing, bud? Despite humanity's contingency plan for such an event and all our efforts, we were still not prepared for the sheer magnitude of the solar flare that arrived. It was only then, when our race had become so dependent on technology, that we were immeasurably vulnerable against this kind of disaster. It's scary to think of, actually, if the sun decided to, take out all of our technology. That day, a force with the power of 10 billion Hiroshima bombs was unleashed into our atmosphere. The eyewitness reports from this day were varied as they were terrifying. Oh, that's cool. A huge, beautiful aurora could be seen on the horizon before fireballs hurled across the sky. Oh, that's not good. In some places, the lights became so bright that even those asleep at night awoke, as though day had already arrived. A coronal mass ejection by itself did not have the power to kill anyone directly, but the side effects were disastrous. After the lights in the sky arrived, sparks showered from electrical outlets everywhere, igniting rampant fires in every town and city. Oof. Facilities that stored weapons, fireworks, or other explosives became centers of widespread destruction and loss of life. Huh. That's not good. During the next stage, the solar flares started to affect body modifications and caused commonplace pacemakers and nanomachines to fail. 15% of the world's population died as a result of this alone. That's so... Wow. Once the full power of the waves hit us, however, society as we knew it collapsed in one fell swoop. Power grids on Earth shut down in an instant, as did all the machines that automated our routine tasks. Long-distance communication and transport became a thing of the past. Now that would be the worst part right there, is long-distance communication going away. I've got so many friends across the planet. Like one of my best friends is in the UK. Never met him. I'm here in Oregon. I've got a friend in Germany. Got friends all over the place, and not being able to talk to them, that would be rough. You know, plus everybody dying, there's that. Without electrical power, the quality of healthcare plummeted, and water and sewage systems were crippled. Diseases were thought defeated centuries ago made their comeback in a most unsightly fashion. Humanity just sucks in this game. Many thought the end of the world had arrived, and in a way, it had. Some people blamed whoever their belief system would allow, angry at the gods that had forsaken them. Others pointed their fingers at our lifestyle and society. Not that anyone was listening. Practically, we were back in the Middle Ages. Governments collapsed and were overthrown, and the ensuing power vacuums filled with groups of people that were sometimes organized and sometimes not. The few functioning electronic devices left became rare, sought-after artifacts over which battles and even wars were fought. It's a little extreme. Of course, there were also wars over resources and territory. The weaponry used was improvised or reclaimed from the days when humans had been present on the battlefield. It had been ages, but people returned to the old, bloody ways of war. Humanity is in shambles now. Those that I'd call family and friends now live with me in a giant, mostly self-sufficient city-state of survivors. A huge wall around the perimeter, guarded by militia, prevents any outside interference. It's the only way we can retain a modicum of order. Gangs of raiders and looters run rampant on the outside. They wouldn't hesitate to kill first and... Here's not a dino nuggy, but... And ask questions later if they had known about my PDA. Okay, so that's why PDAs are so important. Our contained community has flourished for years now. We have homes to live in, crops to grow, and livestock to raise, and still have our own automated hospital that runs on salvage generators. Lately, though, supplies have started to run low, and dangerously so. Low and so. The power we have is running out. Illnesses are spreading through the city, and treatment isn't as available as it used to be. Our population is dropping by the day. We took a great risk to increase the radius of our scouting missions, desperate to find something outside the wall that could help us. You already know the rest of this story. We found the portal, and you. And now you know this whole thing is so important. Why this thing is so important to me. All our hopes lie in acquiring the generators you promised us. The act of sending Reza and me here was, without a doubt, already without a doubt, cost the lives of some people back home. Beyond the city walls is a dead zone. We haven't heard from any other settlements for months now. The state of the rest of the world of our world is unknown. When Reza and I were sent here, my peers made it clear that this was our last chance. If anything happens to us, no more people will be sent. If we can't manage to bring back something that will help, we'll have sealed the fate of tens of thousands that live in our city. I'm sorry, Reich. Yeah, I didn't know. If what you are telling me is true, it unfortunately does not work in your favor. What? You already have a dino nuggie. Finish that one. As sad as your situation may be, it gives Reza a motive. Oh, well, that didn't help. Desperate times call for desperate measures, after all. In that vein, it also gives you a motive. Considering the gravity of the human plight, it gives you all the more reason to collaborate with him. I'm not. What Reza is doing is wrong. You can't send me away under these circumstances, because I'm your best bet at finding him. Even so, you would still be in grave danger. What? After we announce Reza's involvement in the murders. I cannot and will not take responsibility for the consequences when I know of the risks. Yeah. No. What about our deal then? In the wake of this new information and as a sign of goodwill, Trying to copy me, bud? We will send the generators you are owed through the portal once this is over, under 2 conditions. I'm not gonna like these conditions, are I? Humanity must condemn Reza's actions, and we must reclaim the stolen PDAs. I've changed my mind. You should let Reich stay here. I cannot take your word under consideration in this matter, Chief. Taking into account Maverick's actions and your responsibility for them, you will have to be dealt with separately. With my authority as the minister in charge of the human visit, my decision is to have Reich sent back to the human world through the portal. Please. Immediately. Well, Chief, please arrange for an escort to take Reich to the portal now. I could do it myself, Minister. Well, we have our own matters to discuss, Chief, and I would rather get that over with as quickly as possible. In that case, one of my officers should be here any moment. I arranged for him to meet us here. It's going to be either Sebastian or Maverick. How handy. Then let us wait for this officer of yours. Oh, Sebastian, there it is. It didn't take long for Sebastian to arrive. After the situation was explained, he was visibly shocked, but didn't protest when he was given the task of sending me back through the portal. Let's go, Reich. Don't even get to say goodbye? Yeah, what about Adine? Come on. Let's not waste any more time. You will still be free to send letters after you have arrived on the other side. Just go, Reich. Come on, then. Don't tell me it's over. We were silent as Sebastian and I slowly made our way to the portal. With each step I took, I drew closer and closer to the hopelessness waiting for me in the ruins of the human world. All in all, I certainly had a unique experience alongside these dragons. And although this place was filled with just as much drama and murder as back home, I remember this world and all the people I met. You know, people, dragons. I would fondly think back to the days I spent in their comfortable standard of living, a shadow of how humanity used to be. Is this better not be an ending. Even without the generators, at the very least, I'd be returning home with a few life lessons. Hey, Adine! Nice. What's going on here? Lost in thought, I hadn't even noticed Adine approach. It's none of your concern. Please leave. Can I even get a few minutes before I go? I suppose nobody's stopping us, but make it quick. Hey, Reich, what's going on here? Something serious happened. Looks like I have to leave. Right now? Why? It was the minister's decision, not mine. You'll hear all about it soon enough. Don't be knocking your food over, bud. Does this have anything to do with what I've been hearing? Is Reza really a murderer? I'm afraid so. Oh. Well, what does that make you? I don't have anything to do with that. I was helping the police find him. Then why are you leaving? They don't want me to stay here with all this going on. It's for my own safety. Yeah, sure, okay. Well, it was nice to get to know you, at least. Likewise. That's it? That's all I'm gonna say to... I guess I should get going. Goodbye, Reich. Goodbye, Adine. I remember her. That was the witness from Reza's first murder. Did you know her? Yes, I knew her. I see. come on. This can't be one of the endings. What did I do wrong? A few minutes later, we arrived at the portal, standing proud as ever in defiance of the elements. How many years had the structure survived before it was found? I hope I can remember how this thing works. Are you joking? Yeah, sorry. I got it. Alright, I suppose it's time for us to say goodbye. Let's keep it professional. I don't like to mix personal matters with work. He looked away, and I shrugged. Go ahead and turn it on. No! No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Would you stand between the pillars, please? Of course. I took my place and stared toward the horizon while I thought about what would happen now, in this world and others. Even if I made a break for it, I'd become a fugitive. No better than Reza. Well, a little better than Reza. I haven't killed anybody yet. It would be near impossible to investigate the case by myself, while on the run in a world I knew so little about. And it's a little hard to blend in. At the very least, I took comfort in the fact that I did everything I could to help, even if it turned out like this. I know, right? Nevertheless, I dreaded going back empty-handed and returning to my old life in our ruined city. Right? Any second now, the teleportation process would start, disintegrating my body before I would reappear on the other side. Back in my dying world. I wonder if there was any risk of getting lost somewhere between worlds. We didn't really know how well the portals worked, after all. Maybe I would be flung somewhere else in space-time, or it might affect my body in some way. I hadn't noticed any unusual changes in my body since I arrived in the Dragons' world, but I had no way of knowing if there were potential long-term side effects. I still remembered the images I saw when I teleported the first time, the vivid sights and patterns. People and situations I have recognized since then. It only took a moment to arrive at the other side of the portal, yet it felt like I had dreamed 1,000 dreams. And during the nights I spent here, these dreams had often reappeared. Any time now, I would undergo the same experience again. This is taking a while. I was almost relieved that my adventure was over. Things had turned out far differently than expected. I evaded danger, got swept into a murder investigation, and met incredible, intelligent beings from several different species. It had certainly been a time to remember. With that thought, I closed my eyes and braced myself for the... I'm sorry, but I messed up somewhere! For the moment that would come any second now. Yeah! But that moment never came. Alright! We're still in this. The next thing that did happen was that I heard Sebastian's voice. It's not working. Are you joking again? No, really, it's not working. Wait, what is this? Oh, guess I'm stuck here. Okay. Whew. Thank you, Reza, I guess. Can you fix it? I don't think so. This doesn't look like a simple act of vandalism. It looks like some parts were torn out. Yeah, the child's watching. He doesn't understand what's going on, but, you know, just likes hanging out with Dad. Why'd you drop the chicken nugget? Did you not like it? Alright. I guess that means I'm not leaving, huh? Not yet, at least. Well, what do we do now? What? Alright. You want out of the chair. Give me a sec. Let's move this. That. Hey. Buckle you. Over here. Hey. Alright. On my lap now, you okay? Let's head back. The chief has to know about this right away. Don't touch my magic cards. I'm trying to organize them. We were back at the ministry before long. Amira and Bryce were still outside as Remy approached the two of them. Oh, Remy's here. Here are the case files, Amira. Emerald. How? Emerald. Yeah, like emerald, I guess. Why, thank you. Reichen, an officer. What is this about Amara? Amara? Don't you pull any cords down there? That is what I would like to know. Please, officer, enlighten me. Why has my order not been carried out? The portal is broken. Broken? Yeah, it looks like someone tampered with it and stole parts. I couldn't even get the interface to turn on. We'll check it out once I'm done here. I suppose Reich will stay with us for a little while longer. That's Amira. Yeah. Hey. Easy, bud. Seeing how this is an emergency situation, I will make this short. Chief, as a result of your carelessness regarding Maverick and Reza, you are temporarily removed from any duties related to the humans. Okay, don't mess with the controller, bud. I don't know if it affects the game or not. Oh my goodness. You are okay. Where is that? I don't know. Oh, here you go. Have this GameCube controller. There you go. Anyways, where was I? Given these dangerous times, you will instead serve as my personal escorts until further notice. Yeah, game almost had me there too. I honestly thought I got a bad ending. Considering the circumstances, you'll be allowed to coordinate the investigation of the portal, but after that, you are to immediately return to me to start your new task. Understood? Understood. I wouldn't want that job. I don't want to be her personal bodyguard. Then all of you are dismissed. She turned to leave, Remy trailing after her. Alright, let's head to the portal. That includes you, right? Of course. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a sheet of paper on the ground. Hey, what's this? Amara probably dropped one of her... Blah. Sorry. In the Dino Noogies, he didn't. Nope, give me that, bud. Nope, can't play with that. Don't want you to accidentally swallow that. Case files. Either her or her assistant. We better bring that to her. Sebastian and I should hurry to the portal. Meet us there afterwards, okay? Sure. I picked up the sheet and started reading. It was about what had happened when I met Reza at the portal. Of course, it didn't say anything I didn't already know. As I walked up the stairs, I wondered if it was okay for an unauthorized person to enter the building. All I knew about the place was that Amara worked here. What you doing? I did have an important document that was going to be missed, so I walked inside, only to be greeted by an empty lobby. He just woke up from a nap, so he ain't going to bed anytime soon. Luckily, there were some signs directing me to Amara's office. It didn't take long to find it, and I heard voices when I approached the door. By the way, what happened to the scroll you brought me this morning? The last time I saw it, it did not have that tear. I dropped it. Tell me something new for once. I don't like her. Don't be mean to Remy. Okay, someone else dropped... Oh, that was me. Am I supposed to believe that? Remy, are you aware of how much this costs? Repairing and replacing artifacts is not cheap. I'm afraid we will have to deduct this from your wage again. Don't do Remy like that. Jeez. I see. You are not doing this on purpose, are you? Of course not. You have been working for me for a long time now. I expected you to learn at some point, but you are very resistant to do so. Not wanting to listen to this any longer, I decided to knock. There were a few seconds of silence. Please, come in. I only opened the door long enough to hand Remy the sheet of paper. I think you dropped this outside. After I closed the door and started to walk away, I heard the voices resume. This is from one of the case files you requested. You must have dropped it. Then why was it left outside? As my assistant, you should have paid more attention. If this got into the wrong hands, someone could get in trouble. I just made it worse for Remy. It's a little hard to stand under the desk, isn't it, bud? You're too tall. I made my way back to the portal and arrived shortly after Bryce and Sebastian. Well, I can confirm that it's not turning on. Yeah, well, easy, bud. You know, maybe you should learn after the first time that standing under there means bunking your head. Maybe the fourth time will do the trick. I told you that already. Just wanted to be sure. Bryce is a little too happy. You really think it would still work with a chunk ripped out of it? Oh, okay, you're coming out from under the desk, bud. Hey, I'm not an engineer. We don't know how the portal works. It was worth another try. There you are, Reich. What do you make of this? I'm afraid I don't know any more than you do. I'm not an engineer either. In that case, we should start thinking about the who and when. There are patrols assigned to the portal and surrounding area day and night. If someone tampered with the portal, they must have seen something. Today's day patrol didn't notice anything unusual, though. I guess you just missed the part about the portal being vandalized. It'd be easy to overlook. It's a small part of the machine, and it's not like she was expected to check every square inch of it with each lap around the area. That's the sound of... Okay. What about the night patrol, then? When I went over the reports this morning, I noticed the night patrol hadn't handed theirs in yet. Said Bryce? Okay. And who was patrolling last night? Let me think for a minute. Maverick? It was Maverick, wasn't it? The schedule always goes in a certain order, so last night would have been... Damn. Didn't think of that, did you? What is it? The night patrol for last night would have been Maverick. I got wrapped up in all the recent chaos and forgot to find a replacement for him when he went on sick leave. Maybe Amira was right to take me off the case. So there was no night guard here at all? That's right. Whoever it was had an easy time doing whatever they wanted. Could it have been Maverick? If he knew no one was going to be here, he could have used that knowledge to his advantage. That's actually a fair point. Glad I thought of it. He couldn't have known that I'd forget to find a replacement, though. I don't usually slip up like this. What about Reza? Why would he have done it? He'd be cutting off his only way out. No, he'd be doing something smart. If he has the part needed to get the portal working again, he's in control of who gets to use it. He's cutting off our ability to communicate with mankind. Not like we could really help here anyways, from the sounds of it. Don't touch my magic cards! No! Don't. I'm trying to organize them, bud. We wouldn't be able to inform them of Reza's actions. Let's get a little bit away from the cards. Maybe we shouldn't have kept the investigation secret for this long. If your theory is true, that would be proof that Reza's actions are his own, not humanity's. Hey, I already trust you on that. Or, it's a stunt to grant humanity plausible deniability. No way. Things are too dire for the humans to take such an extraordinary risk, especially for that. I'm sure that wouldn't be the only reason they'd benefit, though. There must be something we're not aware of. Maybe we're looking at this from the wrong angle. If no one was here to guard the portal, anyone could have broken it. It doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with Reza or Maverick. But they still have the greatest motives. Sure, but they definitely aren't the only ones to have one. There could be private groups who are interested in the technology or its significance as a human artifact. Well, Remy's pretty interested. So that puts us exactly nowhere. Alright, let's try this, bud. Got your little playpen over here. Let's see. bashing into things. At least as far as speculation is concerned, it's about time for forensics to show up anyway. Excuse me. Let's hope they can pull some clues from all this. Well, I mean, if they find a fingerprint, it's kind of obvious. My ping tuber is not moving when talking. What? Ping tuber? Sebastian, can you take it from here? You've been just as dedicated to the case as I have. Since I'll have to be at the minister's side for a while, I'd like you to take charge of the investigation for now. Talk about a promotion. Thanks, Chief. I won't let you down. What's up with that anyway? Being appointed as Amara's bodyguard as punishment just seems strange to me. It doesn't seem strange to me. I wouldn't want to be a bodyguard for a politician. Are you kidding? I could have lost my job. This is a way better outcome. Honestly, she probably did it for her own sake more than anything else, but I'm not complaining. If that's all, I'm gonna head back to the ministry. I shouldn't keep her waiting. Considering she just, docked Remy's pay for dropping something. So, what does that make you now? Temporary chief? More like case leader. By the way, you won't need to stick around while forensics does their job. Thanks for your help. I assume you can find your way back to your apartment? No? Yeah, of course. Well, he's better at direction than I am. Alright, I'll see you later then. See ya. I considered spending my free time roaming the town, but decided that would be best to keep myself out of the spotlight. After cooking myself a rudimentary meal, I considered picking up another book when the doorbell rang. Please be a dean, please be a dean, please be a dean. Oh. Hey, Reich. Hey, Sebastian, do you need my help again? We're just a small town police department, and with Bryce removed from the case, our resources are thinner than ever. I understand. So, what do you have for me? First up is the primary witness in the latest murder, Damien. That's weird and well spelled. Damien? The victim's assistant. He was the one who found her body. Oh, we're actually going to talk about this one? A few things have changed since this morning, as we've gotten some additional information from forensics that warrants further questioning. I know you knew the victim personally, so you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'll leave the choice to you. You can find her assistant at the production facility. You seemed interested in that underground building found near the portal. I realized you might actually be able to help us with that. Since it's suspected to be of human origin, your opinion would be greatly appreciated. No, he's not going to be an iPad kid. We don't have an iPad. I guess I should add archaeologist to my resume. Maybe human matters consultants would be more appropriate. Do you really think it's okay for me to tamper with your priceless discoveries? Sorry, I had to finish my coffee. Oh, you wouldn't actually go there in person. I just want you to take a look at the collected information in the archives and give us your opinion. Besides, no one is allowed to visit at the moment. The building is old and unstable, and there is a danger of it collapsing or flooding. Obviously, we don't want either of those to happen. Yeah, honestly. I know what you mean. Flooding? Yes, the whole building is underground, and we've determined that there is a rather large pocket of water surrounding it. Any kind of disturbance could endanger everything and everyone inside. I see. We also located another witness for the latest murder. A store clerk reported seeing and hearing something, so it's probably worth to ask him a few questions. Is that same store clerk we dealt with last time? Here are all the details. Visit me at the department once you're done. Sure thing. It was interesting that they still relied on me for their investigations, even after they tried to send me back to my world. I didn't expect them to allow me to help with police matters after everything that had happened. Now that the possibility of sending me back was eliminated, the advantages of having me on their side apparently outweighed the risks. Though I had to wonder who would have to be more careful from now on. Apparently me, because I don't want to get the bad ending and actually go home. Who do I visit? Give you guys a moment to decide. Production facility, police archives, or store? Okay, got one for store clerk. One for production. Another for store. Excuse me. Alright, well, let's visit the store. Yep, same store. Well, Adine was not an option yet, so... Oh, it's her again. Oh yeah, this one. If you've mixed up the prescriptions again, then I can't help you. I can't refill this one. We're just about to close, so you'll have to bring the right one tomorrow. Hello, Reich. How can I help you? Actually, I'm just about to close up here, so please make it quick. I'm here on behalf of the police, and I was hoping that you can answer a few questions. Ah, that's a good way to start. I see. Well, I don't mind as long as you make it quick. I have to leave for my other job soon. Vara, what are you still doing here? I already told you, you have to come back tomorrow. Here, have a lolly on the house. I guess she doesn't want it. Ah, poor girl. What's the deal with her? I'm not sure what's up with her lately. This isn't the first time this has happened. One time the doctor forgets to issue a new prescription. Another time she brings me an expired one instead of the new one. She isn't exactly the brightest, but this is unusual even for her. Probably got some kind of mental condition that they don't quite understand. Alright, bud? Yeah? Okay. So, what did you want to know? Okay, well, okay. Now what? I feel like I gotta follow her and find out what's going on. Help her. Yeah, I'm leaning towards following her, finding out what's wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna follow. Actually, excuse me. Sorry, but we'll have to do this another time. If you say so. Luckily, she hadn't gotten too far, so I followed her from a distance. Minutes pass as we walk through the streets, weaving through an unfamiliar part of town. The young dragon looked small and lonely on the empty road. Before long, we passed the village border, yet she pressed on and stepped into the forest. I turned back once to gaze at the village on the far horizon, and in an instant, the dragon was gone. I rushed to the spot I'd seen her last and found the entrance to a cave on a hillside. When I peered inside, I saw Vara alongside a much larger orange dragon. The small dragon filled a bowl with the thick fluid and placed it in front of the other. Then she... What you doing, bud? What you got there? Oh, it's cone holder, whatever. But when she released it, the dragon's head slumped and fell into the liquid. The bowl tumbled sideways and spilled its contents across the cave floor. That's orange. Looks more peach or tan than anything. But it looks like a mermaid dragon thing. I realized then that other than what Vara had done, the orange dragon hadn't moved at all since I arrived. Oh, please tell me it's not dead. I've already had to deal with 3 dead bodies, one of them being a friend. What? When did he get here? How did you even find out about this? I could tell something was wrong, so I followed her. I see. Well, good job, Reich. What's going to happen to her now? She'll be sent to the orphanage. Well, the dean will take care of her. The background check determined that she had a father, but the two hadn't seen each other in years. Can't you locate him? We did. Reza's second victim, the maintenance guy. Come on! Now I really want to hug the baby. I think there was a scene change. I guess I called the police, told them that, hey, there's another dead body. I see. How did he even get this far? I don't know, but we'll certainly look into it. Some just fall through the cracks of the system. Being out here on their own probably didn't help. Do many of your people live outside the town like this? And I'm really glad I followed her so I can help, so that Vara can get the help she needs. Well, some do it on principle, others because they have no other choice. Houses and apartments can be expensive. Yeah, they can. And it's not unusual for us to use natural environments as our houses. I'll hug my baby, yeah. Alright, I think we're done here for now. Don't forget to stop by the department later. I won't. Oh, poor Vara. You followed Vara. Got an achievement. Before deciding my next move, I returned to my apartment for a moment of rest. A small piece of paper had been slipped under my door while I was gone, and I just realized that's probably going to help me with Adine, because now she's got another kid at the orphanage, and I helped an innocent kid, and I think that's kind of Adine's thing. Don't go to the portal, was all it said. Well, now I want to go to the portal. I considered the possibility of a hidden message, but that was unlikely. The statement was blunt and quickly scrawled. Oh no, my son here is swearing. He doesn't understand anything. Right? Hi. Hi, Liam. Someone clearly didn't want me to go to the portal, but why would I go there in the first place? As it was out of order right now, such an action would serve no purpose. I looked outside the window, at the portal's faint silhouette in the distance. The paper rustled between my fingers as I fidgeted with it, wondering about the message's sender and significance. My train of thought was violently interrupted by a sharp burst of gunfire. What? What? I had to think fast. The gunshots ensured Reza's involvement. He was at the portal. The question was, why? Hang on, wife texting me. Alright, I'm gonna pick up my daughter in a couple hours from the bus stop. If this was an attempt to flee back to the human world, he would receive a rather unpleasant surprise the moment he would try to use the portal. Or maybe Sebastian's theory was correct, and Reza held the part needed to repair the portal, in which case his escape would be imminent. The gunshots themselves were another question. Why was someone trying to stop him? The police may have seen him, and he may have been taken by surprise. This could be another murder in progress. Send text my wife that I love her. But all of his murders were committed with a sharp weapon before now, not a gun. He didn't want to be heard. Besides, it was only early evening, and the town was still bustling. If Reza wanted to stay hidden, he was doing a rather poor job at it. Of course, there was also the possibility that I'm overthinking this. Police, Maverick, it could easily be a trap for those hunting him, and that technically included me, though I wasn't sure if he knew of my involvement in the investigation. It was also a very real possibility that he knew my apartment was close enough to the portal to hear a gunshot. I'm seriously thinking about this as much as Deku's in Deku in My Hero Academia, just overanalyzing things. Could it be a signal for me? Regardless, the words I held in my hands were unmistakable. Don't go to the portal. What should I do? Stay inside and call the police, or go to the portal? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Do I go to the portal, or go to the or call the police? Yeah, it kind of sounds like boss music. Boss fight music, yeah. Stay at home. But there's people... Rez is there. He's shooting people. Or dragons. I don't... Alright, fine. I'll stay and call the police. Ultimately, I trusted the mysterious message. Remy's list of phone numbers given to me when he brought me to this apartment in the first place proved to be a valuable tool. I dialed the emergency line and was greeted by a calm voice asking me about my emergency. The gravity of the situation was understood, and I was advised to stay inside until further notice. A team was dispatched to deal with the situation while I waited. From my window, I tried to catch a glimpse of what was going on at the portal, but I couldn't see much. The dark of night was fast approaching. But I am the police. I am a sheriff deputy, so... About an hour later, I was informed the team had searched the perimeter, though no trace of Reza was found. I was given the go-ahead to continue with my investigation, but I was free to stay where I was if I felt unsafe. Okay, now where? Now what do I do? Visit the production facility or visit the police archives? I can see why I'd want to do both. I want to figure out what happened with Anna, but I also want to investigate about the facility next to the portal. Yes, I know what they mean by people. I just like making jokes. Okay. Guys aren't helping me. It's still kind of 50-50 on where to go. What do you think, Liam? That's it? I want to actually help with the murder, so I'm going to go to the production facility. Lorem. Have I seen her before? Hey, Reich. Okay, obviously I've met her before. I don't remember much about her, but apparently I met her. Lorem, right? Yep. Did you get a chance to think about what I told you last night? I don't remember what... Don't worry, I didn't lose your number. They keep me pretty busy, so I don't really have much free time. Well, if anything changes, give me a call. I will. Gotta go now, so take care. I like her blue. That's a nice blue. You too. Okay. That should be the right place. Oh. Hi. Can I help you? Hello. You are Anna's assistant, right? Assistant? You must be joking. First off, I was never anyone's assistant. Secondly, the witch is oh wow. He did not like her. So even if I was, I would have mopped up the corporate ladder moved up. Jeez, my dyslexia is bad today. Up the corporate ladder by now. But you are Damian. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Damien, aren't you? Which is also the name of my my OC, my Dragon Sona, if you will. Yes, where I come from, people usually introduce themselves before they start asking questions, though. You don't know who I am? Of course I know who you are, but that doesn't mean you don't need to learn some manners. No, he doesn't give me a good vibe either. And because he's more snake-like? I don't know. I'm trying to be funny. Anyway, what do you want? Can I ask you a few questions? What about Anna's murder? And who are you to go around asking questions like that? I'm working with the police on this matter. And I'm supposed to believe that? For all I know, you could be with the murderer and are just here to find out if I know something that could implicate you. Fair point. Well, according to my information, you didn't particularly like the victim. Well, no. Really. I couldn't tell. I don't need a degree in criminal justice to figure that out. Not only were you the last person to see her alive, but you were also the one who found her. As you may imagine, this warrants some questions. You know what? I don't have to listen to this. I don't know who you think you are, barging into my workplace and barking questions, but if you really are with the police, let them know that I won't say one more word on that matter without a lawyer. I gotta love when they lawyer up. I wondered if Damien was a suspicious person in general, or if the rumors surrounding Reza were affecting his perception of me. Before this, everyone I had talked to during my investigations had been rather cooperative. That Damien, not this Damien. I'm not... Nope. Phew, it's getting late. I better head to the police station now. Do I have everything? Alright, let's see what Sebastian will say to this. There you are, Reich. Seems to me you've taken a liking to Bryce's chair. Maybe. I could get used to this. Well, the problem is, I don't think I figured anything out, really. I mean, Damien just kind of told me to F off, and the other thing I did was save a little child, and nothing else. Don't tell Bryce, though. By the way, good job calling the police when you heard Reza. It's too bad he got away again, but maybe a witness will come forward and we'll find out what had happened. Now, let's take a look at what you've got for me. You did great today, Reich. The police department is glad to have you on our side. You saved that little girl. As far as I'm concerned, nothing else you could have done would have mattered as much. Well, thank you. That actually made me feel a lot better about my decisions. Good job, Reich. You did well on the third investigation. I do what I can. I know, and your help is greatly appreciated. Believe me. What are you doing? Hey, don't be smashing the GameCube controller on stuff. Hey, leave. Excuse me. Hello? No. I'm gonna have to get a new GameCube controller. Especially since we're so short on staff right now. Yeah, I know that feeling. That will be all for today. I'll contact you if we need anything. Of course. See you next time. See ya. Yeah, it does count for something. Finally, a free day. What should I do? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do. Here we are again. What are you doing? Breaking my GameCube controller. Here we are again. Oh, she doesn't know I'm still here. Huh. Just a minute. I hope I didn't forget anything. You said something about going to the beach? Oh, well, we're going to the beach. Yep. You know, I'm glad they decided not to send you away after all. Yeah, they kind of didn't have a decision. Me too. Oh, guess who got her entry confirmation for the stunt flying competition? Is it me? Don't be silly, Reich. I've got it right here in black and white. We are happy to confirm your entry into the annual stunt flying competition. Please have your competitor number ready and show up at the organizers. That's booth at the summer festival by. Well, who cares about the rest? I'm in. That's great. Yeah, but the festival's pretty soon. I have to make the most of the time until then to get my skills up to par. Yeah, of course I'm gonna say, do the jokes. How do you think I got my wife? I thought you already had years of experience. Yeah, but now I have to practice the best routine I can possibly come up with. Not to mention making sure I can execute it flawlessly when the time comes. Practicing in general is very different than practicing for an event like this one. I see, and that is definitely very true. Are you ready to see some stunt flying? Sure. Let's go then. So this is where you usually practice? I practice just about anywhere, but today's a nice day for a beach visit. Water and sand are also good surfaces to practice. What are you doing? Stop breaking my controller. Hey, come here. You got your other toys in there. You're okay. No, I'm not. You're okay, bud. Oh, now you're gonna start throwing everything out? Is that your protest? Practice just about good surface to practice complicated maneuvers on in case you can't make the landing. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Well, don't let me hold you up. Oh, I can't just start practicing right now. I'm still giddy with excitement from getting that letter earlier. Besides, I wanted to hang out with you while we're here as well. Sounds good to me. Do you visit the beach often? Not really, except for practice, that is. It does make for a nice backdrop while I fly, though. Well, my sister's at school, so kind of hard to, help with that. I see. Do you ever go to the beach? No, it's not something that was possible for me the last couple of years, but it certainly used to be something other people would do. I see. Sunning yourself can be nice sometimes, but I'm not really a fan of going swimming. There is so much more you can do at the beach, though. Like what? You already mentioned sunning. You ever get a tan? Do dragons tan? What's that? Yep. I guess that's a no then. To be fair, you are completely covered in scales, so I imagine you wouldn't be affected. Tanning is a reaction of the skin when it's exposed to sunlight. If humans stay in the sun for a while, our skin can get darker. How strange. And if we are exposed for too long, we can even get what is called a sunburn. And what's that? Well, the skin can take on a reddish tint, and it can also be painful and cause dizziness. So you have to be careful not to stay in the sun for too long. Pretty much, though that isn't necessarily true for all of us. Depending on the skin tone, people can be more or less affected by the radiation. Well, let's just say I can't be out in the sun for too long. I see. That sounds kind of complicated. Yep, humans pretty much are. Definitely that. Does that mean we shouldn't stay here for too long? Don't worry about it. I see. Just let me know if I need to do anything. Sure, will do. I doubt they have sunscreen in this world. For obvious reasons. Oh, good. Garbage truck's here. So you don't like swimming all that much. Why is that? Well, as you can imagine, I prefer the air to the sea, even though we flyers have quite a relationship with the water. What kind of relationship are we talking about? We use it to hunt. I see. So you go fishing, but can't swim all that well. Pretty much. We can do enough to safely hunt and paddle on the surface, but that's about it. If we actually want to go swimming, it's recommended we wear a life vest. Is it that bad? Our wings are made for flying, not swimming. The movements and musculature are rather different. With some training, we can learn to swim better, but it still wouldn't really be effective. Both MCU. I see. And besides, who would choose to learn to swim if we already have the air to ourselves? Fair point. Flying is just your thing, I guess. Pretty much. You made it sound as if beaches are a pretty important thing for humans. I wouldn't say important. Rather, it's a unique way for people to spend time. It was often done as a leisure activity or a way to spend holiday vacations. That sounds pretty important to me. What else did you do at the beach? Let me think. I got an idea and started looking for something in the sand on the ground. With a bit of digging, I found a flat, smooth stone and showed it to her. Mysterious, complicated, unpredictable. Yeah, makes sense. Do you have any idea what I'm going to do with this? Not really. Let me show you something. I went to the edge of the water, followed closely by Adine. Now, watch this. I extended my arm with the best technique I could muster before I threw the stone towards the water. Spinning in the air, the stone bounced on the water's surface a few times before it sunk into the sea. What was that? Stone skipping. Never heard of it? No. How'd you do that? I can show you. I looked around for another suitable stone and soon found one near the edge of the water. Let's start with the stone. Ideally, we want one that has big surface area but is as flat as possible. Got it. This one is also really smooth, which helps too. Okay, so we need smooth, flat stones. Now, the technique is also pretty important. I'm not sure how well this will translate to your anatomy, but I'll just show you how I do it, and then we can figure out what you can do. Okay. Hold the stone like this, extend your arm, and curl it like this. Then you have to throw it in such a way that it stays relatively stable in the air, but spins as fast as you can make it. I do it like this. I threw the stone once again, showing her how it subsequently bounced a few times over the water's surface before it sunk into the sea. I'm not sure I can do that. Well, we'll see. Maybe we can figure something out. Let's look for a stone first. Okay. We both started looking for another appropriate stone. I saw Adine scratching around the sand with one of her feet. She crouched down to pick something up before she returned it to me. Here, what about this one? That should work. See, you've already gotten that part down. Guess so. Okay, now for the technique. She was holding the stone in the claws at the edge of her wing. I tried to guide her by pulling her wing back like I would an arm, but it became clear to me that it lacks a lot of maneuverability an arm would have. For the throw, you'll want to move your wing forward as fast as you can, and at the very end of the extension, let go of the stone. I'll try. I can see her moving her wing awkwardly. I would love to see this animated. That'd be pretty cool. Hey, don't mess with your sister's bike. Which sunk. She pushed it forward before releasing the stone, which sunk without bouncing a single time. That didn't work. Yeah, there wasn't really enough spin on it. Let me try again. Alright. I waded a few steps into the water to retrieve the stone she'd thrown only moments ago. Here you go. I'll try something different this time. Feel free. Instead of using her wing, she took the stone into the dexterous claws on one of her feet as she continued to stand on the other leg. Effortlessly, she pulled her leg back before rapidly moving it forward and releasing the stone. It flew in a bit of an upward arc before it bounced off the water's surface once and subsequently sunk into the ocean's water. Nice. Not bad, huh? I had no idea you could do that with your leg. Actually, our legs are what we mainly use to grab things. It only gets complicated if I'm supposed to be moving at the same time, like when I'm waiting in the cafe. Interesting. I suppose for someone who's hunting while flying, that's pretty much a requirement. It is. Actually, if I'm at home and eating chips or something, I usually use my feet as well. That just sounds weird. Oh, really? Yeah, some monkeys actually can. They basically have hands instead of feet. So they have 4 hands? Yep. That seems like it'd be handy. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, jeez. But I think I like my wings better. Handy. Oh, boy. That was a neat trick, though. So, what else can we do at the beach? I don't know. Build sand. You trying to laugh like me? Build sand castles. I haven't done that in like 2 decades. Wait, how old are you? I try to imagine what a dean building a sandcastle would look like. Based on what I knew now, she probably wouldn't be using her wings. Would you believe me if I told you we used to have contests for building sandcastles back home? Really? Yeah, people would build huge, detailed sculptures that would be taller than both of us, just with sand. Oh wow, that sounds hard though. Yeah. I'm not sure I have the patience for that. Yeah, I can see that. To me, it seems a bit of a shame to build big, elaborate sculptures out of something like sand that clearly won't last. I mean, if you're going to spend so much time on it, why not create something that will stay? I agree. All that effort to be swept away, but it's kind of sad if you think about it. No, don't go to sad. I guess we won't be building any sandcastles then. I'm in the mood for a snack. Should I get something for you as well? Yes, please. Alright. You can watch me... Oh, she's gonna go hunting. Maybe you can learn a thing or two from it. You want to teach me how to fish? Sure, since you taught me the... What was it called again? Stone skipping. Right, since you taught me the stone skipping, I can show you how to fish. Okay, I can't really fish like you do, but let's go ahead and see where this goes. We actually have 2 very different ways of doing it. There's hunting and angling. Personally, I prefer hunting, though. I can see why. Let me demonstrate. She took a few steps back, then started running toward the edge of the sea. Rapidly flapping her wings, she jumped into the air at the last second, taking off and flying around the area. I could see her staring at the sea intently, circling a few times before descending towards the water's surface, claws extended. Garbage time. When she got close enough, her claws suddenly sank into the water, only to reappear with a fish in their grasp. Afterwards, she returned and landed near me. What? Oh yeah? Let me finish this part and then we'll go. Ah. Did you see that? Yeah, but I think... Alright, come here. Well, you're dropping all your stuff out of your playpen, so... Probably prevent me from doing the same. Yeah, kind of hard to do that if I don't have wings. Or claws. You don't have to do exactly the same thing. In the end, I'm just grabbing them right out of the sea. You could do that. I'm not so sure about that. I bet it's a lot easier with your claws. Fish can be pretty slippery. I guess you have a point. Well, there's still the other method. Angling. Yep, angling. See my tail? She showed me her tail. At its end, there was a fork in it. With its distinct shape, size, and color, it reminded me a lot of a banana. What about it? This is the bait. She sat down near the edge of the water, letting her tail dangle down, hang down into it. This can take a while sometimes, but there are techniques which can speed up the process. Is that what you want? Is that what you want, bud? The right amount of movement attracts different kinds of fish. That way we can even choose what we're going to get. And that works? Yeah, not all the time, but often enough. Interesting. There are even groups that exchange tips and such for angling this way. Suddenly, I saw her whip her tail upward, which caused a fish to be launched toward the beach, where it landed on the ground with an audible thud. Flying fish. Just a deep sigh. Just like your mom. There you go. That didn't take too long. It can be very hit and miss. I just got lucky this time, and it's not even the kind of fish I really wanted. I guess that's why you prefer hunting. Yep, and you also don't get the nibble scars on your tail where the fish bite you. Yeah, there's that. I see. Though I suppose angling is also going to be hard for you without a forked tail like we have, or is just a tail in general. Actually, we have fishing rods for that where I come from. What's that? The principle is very similar. Basically, it's a long stick that we hold over the water. A line connected to it has a bait and hook at the end to catch the fish. When the fish bites the hook, we can reel in the line to get the fish to us. So we're using a tool to do a very similar thing. Basically, yes. Sometimes we also fish using nets. Oh, some of us do that as well. Not my kind, but usually is those who either work for a fishing company or sell seafood on the market. I imagine someone like you doesn't have to buy their fish on the market, though. True, but sometimes it's easier to just get them there to get what I want to instead of coming all the way here. I see. Speaking of which, let me get a few more for later. Feel free. Once more, Adine took to the sky to hunt for fish. While it was interesting to watch her for a bit, she kept hunting for a while. I started passing the time by collecting some seashells. Phew, that should last me for a while. Oh, what are those? Seashells? Oh, they're definitely for you. Yep, they're for you. For me? What for? Well, you could decorate your apartment with them or something. I see. Maybe I should ask you to clarify this, but does this have any particular significance for humans? Not really. It's just a gift. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, right? All that hunting was a good warm-up. I feel about ready to start with the practice now. Go ahead. I'll watch from here. Actually, now that I'll be part of an official competition, I need a fancy stage name. Do you have something in mind? Not really. Have you got any ideas? Neo Wing. Angel. What should her stage name be? Custom name? Well, I don't know anything to name her. What? Angel because it's in the title. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, okay, we'll go with Angel. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Ever since I knew about the contest, I've been thinking of this name. Angel Adine, yeah, that's a good one. What a crazy coincidence. Do you mind if I go with that? Not at all. Oh, easy, bud. Angel it is, then. Alright, are you ready to see some aerobatics? I certainly hope so. I'll start off with a few easy moves. The stage is yours, Angel. Thanks. Effortlessly, she took to the sky, circling around the area a few times before she started to do a few maneuvers. Oh, cool. A roll, followed by a loop, after which she did another roll. It seemed to be less of a practice routine and more of a warm-up to me. Gradually, her maneuvers got more complicated. I saw circles that got smaller and smaller, a brief nosedive, and multiple loops and rolls one after another. Then, she landed and returned to me. What do you think? That was great. You haven't even seen the best part yet. What would that be? My very own Adine special. Or rather, Angel special. It's a routine I came up with and have been practicing for a while. pretty difficult, so I'll probably spend the rest of my time until the competition perfecting it as much as possible. What does it look like? It starts off with circles near the ground. Then, as I... Don't bang that on the ground. Then, as I ascend, the circles get smaller and smaller. Once I reach the highest point, I go into a nosedive through the middle of the circles. At the show, I'll use a smoke trail when doing the circles, so everyone can actually see me going through the circles I made. That sounds pretty cool. How's she gonna make smoke circles? Do they breathe fire? Did they say they can breathe fire or not? I don't remember. That's not all of it. While nosediving, I'll do a few rolls, and just before I hit the ground, I'll pull up again. Lastly, I'll end with a few loops and go to the next maneuver. It all ends up making a neat shape in the sky with the smoke trails. Sounds like you've got it all figured out already. Yeah, now I only have to perfect my execution of it. Don't let me hold you up. Alright, here we go. With determination in her eyes, she took to the skies once more. When she reached a certain height, she slowly descended again until she was close to the water's surface. Then, she started making her circles, slowly ascending as the circles gradually got smaller and smaller. Once her circles became as small as possible, she suddenly turned herself around and went into a nosedive. Her speed quickly increased while she moved toward the water. Then, she did a roll and another, followed by the third. Dangerously close to the water's surface, she suddenly pulled up, but as she did so, one of her feet went below the surface, where it apparently caught on to something, causing her to spin out of control. Uh-oh. I saw her feeble attempt to regain control as she barely managed to steady herself enough to get back to the beach. She made a rough landing, rolling on the ground a few times after colliding with the sand. Nadine, are you alright? Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Looked pretty impressive until the landing. Ouch, my wing hurt. Uh-oh. Let me take a look. Can you move it? A bit, but it really starts to hurt if I go further than this. Well, then stop doing that. At least it doesn't seem to be broken. Yeah, I guess it's a sprain. Happens all the time. Really? Well, not all the time, but it happens. What about the competition? The injury is going to put a serious damper on my practice schedule, but I'm not giving up anytime soon. I guess practice is over for today, at the very least. Yeah, let's head back. Stop banging that on the ground. I should have some bandages in the cabinet over there. I'll get them for you. What now? Would you do me the honors? Of course. Where should I start? Hey, don't touch the keyboard. I think it's this joint right here. Yep, definitely. Okay, let me get this right. Oh, careful, bud. Here, that should do it. How does it feel? Come here. Much better. Maybe with this, I can even start practicing again in a day or two. No, you can't touch the mouse. I need that. Just be safe. Of course. Well, thanks for the help with the bandage, and sorry about cutting practice short today. I guess you didn't get to see any proper aerobatics after all. Don't take the straw out of my cup. It's no big deal. Your health is more important. Are you going to come to the show? If I can, sure. Oh, right. You might be busy. Never too busy for you. I'll have to see if I can make it. I'd love to be at the show, though. I'll contact you later with all the details, and we can figure it out from there. You just thirsty, bud? Sounds good. I'll see you next time, then. See ya. Alright, I'm gonna call it good there, because my son is starting to get a little stir-crazy. I'm gonna go play with him for a while, see if he goes down for another nap. Yep. Alright, well, that concludes today. Jeez, easy, bud. Alright. Well, thank you for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Another dead body, this time somebody we knew. That sucked. But it is what it is. I can't... Who's honking out there? Anyways, Yeah. Sucks. You know, I don't, wasn't my favorite, but didn't want to see her dead. So, hopefully things start picking up again soon. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. Well, see you all later.